Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to MYC Uncensored, or if you're new here, welcome. This is Satini, and today is a solo podcast. So, apologies if you're sick of my voice. I'm sick of it too. But yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to all our listeners that continuously tune in and show our episodes some love. This month, so far, our top 5 countries that have been tuning in is Australia, France, United States, Germany, and United Kingdom. So, great to see you guys really loving and enjoying the episodes that we have. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Oh, I do want to say, I hope you guys are keeping warm, especially if you are from Australia. Being in Sydney, the winter has been honestly insane. It's so cold. So I hope you're keeping warm wherever you are. But yeah, so for today's topic, as you guys can see, it's about being open to trying new things and rediscovering hobbies. So yeah, I guess for the rediscovering hobbies part, it'll be more on the perspective of female over 25 to the under 25s. But of course, if this or any information or just any point spoken about during the podcast resonates with you, then that's awesome. I love that. If not, completely fine. But yeah, so thank you to Mary for suggesting this topic. I think it's a really good one. And I'm really excited to speak about it, kind of share my own experiences and thoughts, and then hopefully get you guys to, I don't know, maybe eventually want to try new things. I always try and avoid being too cliche or too motivational, because at the end of the day, most of us have heard of these things before, but yeah, even if you're just going to listen and not care about whatever I'm saying, then I totally appreciate that as well. So yeah, I guess we'll start off with being open to trying new things. Trying new things is, I'm pretty sure it's more pros than cons. I mean, if we are to look at cons, on the top of my head, I'm thinking maybe financial difficulties that might prevent you from trying something that you really want to do. Um, I'm not trying to think of like things such as self-doubt and stuff. I guess I'll talk about that after, but I'm trying to think of more like what really is stopping you. Maybe location could be an issue to try new things, especially if you're in a rural area. That may be extremely difficult. um but yeah, maybe I'm not thinking of, nothing's coming to my mind. So if you do have any cons about being open to trying new things, let me know. But I guess we'll go into the positives and the great things about, being open. And that is, it encourages personal growth and self-discovery. So personal growth and self-discovery, I think it's one of those things that even if you're not intentionally doing it, you will go through that, because especially when you're getting older, things change, you meet new people, end up liking different things, and it's like, what do I like now, what do I don't like, what do I enjoy, who do I like, who do I not want to associate myself with. So when it comes to trying new things, I think it gives you another perspective, I guess. And so say, let's for example, you like running. So running is a big thing now, which love that, that's awesome. And so running, for many people, they didn't even consider like even trying it, and then once they just like gave it a go, some of them just be applying to run marathons and have daily runs and all that type of stuff. And see that, like, if they didn't even try to go for that first run, then they wouldn't have known that this is something that brings them happiness. So I think that is also another thing as well. Like it may bring you happiness, and be something that ends up bettering you. So like running obviously is for good health, but as well as health, it contributes to social connections, especially if you're in a running club. And talking about running clubs, just like side note, there's a new running club that I've seen, which is so awesome for females, and so I thought it'd be great to share with you. I think they're called Girls Run West, and they're in Parramatta. I think she's been running for like a month or something, but it looks so awesome to be surrounded by like people that want to do the same thing, getting up. I think they meet up at Parramatta Park, but it's like awesome because they also have that option of like walking and jogging. So it's not just strictly running. So I think it's just adds like some sort of like dopamine like into your life. Yeah, if you guys understand what I mean. I hope you guys are on the same, wavelength. But yeah, that's only the first point. I guess we'll just continue through some other things as to why it's good to be open to trying new things. Another is it helps break out of routine and prevent stagnation. I think especially when you're growing up, you kind of get involved, or you kind of become too content in being where you are in your life, which is obviously not a bad thing, but sometimes when you remain stagnant, there's no development, or you may have like nothing to actually look forward to. So unless you're actually breaking out of that and then being like, I'm gonna try something completely different, like maybe, I don't know, going skydiving, that might just add like a little spark into your life that you didn't even know that you needed, right? So, and that's not to say that routine is bad. I think routine is very important. Well, at least at some sort of basic routine, it definitely helps. But there's that point. Another is builds confidence by stepping outside your comfort zone. Comfort zone, again, the word comfort is there. That's why you're comfortable in a place that's your safe space. This is what this is what you do. And obviously, like, if you are to try something new, that one time, it'll be, yeah, you'll feel more confident to go out there and be like, oh, I'm just going to go book this thing that you've been wanting to do without feeling embarrassed or just the thought of someone or just having the thought that people are judging you. And that's a big thing as well. I think a lot of people think that when you try something that and you might embarrass yourself or whatever that may look like, I think we get into our heads about like, oh my gosh, like I did this so wrong, like I look so silly, I look so weird, and they're gonna remember me and what I did for the rest of my life, which at this point in our lives we already know that it's just in our heads. Like, we're being delusional that they're gonna be thinking about this moment for the rest of their life, but it's really just you going back home and being like in your head about it. So there's that. I think I'm going to stop elaborating on every point, or else I'm going to be yapping here for probably like 40-50 minutes. But yeah, next point, sparks creativity and new perspectives. Opens doors to unexpected opportunities or passions, enhances social connections through shared experiences, promotes adaptability and resilience in daily life, and reignites curiosity and a sense of adventure. So there's just a lot of really great things about being open to trying new things. And as I mentioned earlier, unless you actually go out and do something that you've been wanting to do, or just even having the thought of trying something new, then you won't ever know what it's like, obviously, right? So unless you're actually doing it, then you never know. It might really change your life. like how in the points that I was saying, that it could enhance your social connections, add resilience into your life, reignites curiosity. And this one especially that I love is reignites a sense of adventure, which is something definitely that I've experienced this year a lot. I think coming from the end of last year, I learned a lot of new things about me and realized that there were so many new things that I actually wanted to do. And now that I've tried, well, not tried everything, I'm gonna be realistic. Like, I probably have a whole list, or I'll send my friends or whatever, like things that we need to try, and we never do it. But at least that thought is there. One step at a time, guys, one step at a time. But I think I'll go more into what I can relate to now, when we are going to be discussing about tapping into hobbies again as an adult. So recently, just a little, like, no one asked, but when I was younger, I was really into netball. I loved netball. I was playing it until high school. And obviously when I got older, it's one of those things where I didn't take it too seriously, kind of just threw it to the side, and that was it. But because of an opportunity to join my cousin's netball team, I it was one of those things where I was like, I haven't even run like in a minute, right? And I was like, there is no way, like, how embarrassing. But I was like, okay, look, my cousin is there, my sister-in-law, and like, let's just do it. Like, the worst thing that could happen is that I'm just gonna fall on my face every week and all that kind of stuff. And now it's probably brought me such great happiness, in the sense that, not even just because, like, it's good that I'm being active every Saturday, but I don't know, just looking forward to something that I never thought that I would even be in again has really changed how I see a lot of things, as well as trying Pilates. Everyone was on that Pilates thing, and I think it was this year, yeah, beginning of this year. Yeah, I tried it with my sister and my cousin, and it was so good. Like, I was like, this, like, I understand why people do it, because it just feels like another achievement, should I say. And this is coming from someone that is like, I would be sedentary. Like, there was absolutely no active life. But then that was led through my journey of, like, going to the gym and working out, which I find great happiness with. And it's and even just going to the gym. Like, I know that there's people out there that are like, never, like, would I step in the gym, like, people are gonna watch me and stuff. And I thought the same. I was like, no way. Like, and it's not even you being, like, self-absorbed or, like, having an ego or something. You just automatically think, oh, like, I might just embarrass myself and people are gonna just watch me. But you know what, I'm telling you, like, I went and I got my gym membership, went there. And look, I disclaimer though, like, I haven't been by myself. I'm still very shy in that sense, but it doesn't matter. Still going, right? But yeah, when you're actually there, literally, no one even cares, and you hear that all the time, but I was like, wow, everyone is just focused on, doing their reps, getting their sets in, trying to see if the next machine that they need is free, or if someone's using it, or like how many minutes or seconds left in their rest period. Like, no one actually cares. And of course, like, just like any other place, if you go into somewhere and people's already there, like, they'll look at you walking through the door maybe, but other than that, everyone's doing their own thing, and people are there for their own reasons. Like, other people want to lose weight, gain muscle. They use it because it helps them with their mental health. So people are all there for a reason, and but you're still there, right? So yeah, I think it's been so good. And as we mentioned earlier, like, one of the points about being open to trying new things is that it helps you like build confidence by stepping outside of your comfort zone, and then also a new perspective. Because who would have known? And people say like things all the time, but who would have known that just doing maybe one or two workouts made you realize? And I'm just using workouts for an example. This can apply to anywhere and everything, but like, who knew that two workouts would make you want to end up looking after your health more, so like nutrition wise, and then that nutrition interest could turn into wanting to be a PT or wanting to be a nutritionist. So there's so many things like that, and I think with netball, I've it's become one of my passions. Like, go Swifts, by the way. But it's made me realize that I love netball, and if there was ever a stage in my life where I had to move on or do something else to, I don't know, in my career, it would be something sport management related, like just somewhere in that field. And honestly, if you said that to me, like, if you told me that I said this, like, even 2 years ago, then I'd be like, okay, you're kidding yourself. That sounds like fake news. But that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you actually put yourself out there, you never really know. And that also applies to when young people are trying to explore their different career options, and like, what do you want to study and stuff. People never don't always go for like their hobbies or interests, which I understand. Sometimes your interests and stuff might not be able to provide you the best opportunities, whether that's going up in the corporate ladder, or just in your management, or even finances, which, living in this economy now, like, the finances are insane. But unless you're actually like going and trying these new things, like dipping your feet into different types of industries, or just having that knowledge, or doing something based around it, then you may just settle for whatever comes your way. And that's not a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. But I'm just talking about the people that actually, or I'm actually talking to the people that actually want to push further and go do something new, but they're kind of just holding themselves back and having that self-doubt. And self-doubt in itself is so scary, because it could stop you from new opportunities and just growing as a person, growing mentally, spiritually, sometimes even physically, and even financially. Yeah, because I know like people have that mindset that unless you have money, then you're happy. But that's for you to reflect on. I'm just trying to look at like everyone's perspective. So don't come at me, okay? I didn't say that is a real thing, but yeah. Um See, I kind of just went off track. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, so tapping into hobbies again as an adult. Um yeah, especially if you have kids or like you get married, some people kind of obviously prioritize their children, but they forget about themselves, and they think that going out and trying new things means, or spending or providing yourself with some time means having to go out and party or whatever. Which, if that's what you're into and you like that, then I hope that you party hard, make the most of it. But there's also ways like hobbies. So if you were into like painting and stuff, like that's also another great thing to try and incorporate back into your life, because yeah, it can bring a different sense of happiness and fulfillment within yourself, and it doesn't exactly have to include anyone else, if that makes sense. So one of the points I've got here is reconnects you with past joys and forgotten talents. Yeah, like when you were, for example, if you were winning, um, I don't know, artist awards and all that stuff, like you getting back into it may give you those memories again. And whenever there's a positive memory, it's such a good feeling, right? Because you just get this like like flow of nostalgia, and then it's like, oh, I remember when I was like winning back to back number one paintings and all that stuff, and I was complimented by, I don't know, who's an artist, like Da Vinci or something. Like, but I hope you guys know what I mean. Um, and yeah, and then even with Nepal, when I it's so funny, but like if I do something, I'm like, oh, I remember back in my days, like, I was able to do this and that. I was able to do center. I was out here pivoting um and getting like, you know, being told to go into reps and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's just so funny being nostalgic right now. Um, But yeah, another point is provides a healthy outlet for stress and self-expression, creates a sense of accomplishment and progress, as I have explained, offers a break from responsibilities and digital overload. Ooh, a big thing, yes. And people actually, there is such thing as digital overload, and then I guess a decent amount of time. I guess if you're into gaming, I know a lot of older people, um well, obviously not just older people, but I've seen a few older people recently get into streaming. So taking that hobby of playing video games back in the days, and then hopping onto the streaming trend on Twitch or whatever, has been actually great to see. Like you're actually doing something for yourself, and even if it means bringing whatever you did back then and then kind of integrating it into like what's happening nowadays. It's honestly just so awesome to see. Another point is can lead to new friendships or community involvement. Like I was saying, the whole Girls Run West, like there's a lot of run clubs out there or just social groups out there that are always um, of people looking to, make new friends that have the same interests and stuff. So I think that's really, really cool, because there's so many cool people out there to meet. And unless you actually, put yourself out there, like go out or, I don't know, like on social media, I guess you can take advantage of like seeing other people's profiles and their posts and stuff. Unless you actually put yourself out there, um, yeah, then how can you really create new friendships and community involvement, right? Encourages mindfulness and being present in the moment, which is a very, very important thing, especially living in a society or just in the generation where everything has to be documented, which obviously it's a whole other conversation again. Like, for memories and stuff, I think it's really cool. Um, but yeah, that's getting really deep. I guess we'll just stay surface level. Another one is revives a sense of play and fun often lost in adulthood, and can evolve into side projects or even career pivots. So as I mentioned, and I think I've just been repeating the same thing. You guys definitely understand what I mean, right? So yeah, try new things can equal probably better success, better happiness for you. Um, and as an adult, it's also it just came to my mind like what is it? Like making your inner child happy. Um, and that's something that I don't think a lot of well, people do talk about it, but I don't think we've spoken much about it on the podcast. But yeah, I think even hobbies can kind of bring back that child you. And hopefully it's all like positive stuff, like but yeah, that's a good thought that just came into my head. But yeah, oh, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but even being open to try new things. So the podcasters that most of them have never done anything like this, never have volunteered to be part of a podcast or even done a podcast before. So I think that's something very admirable about the podcasters that I do have in the group, that just saw a chance in wanting to develop new skills or just be part of something different that they never would have had the experience or opportunity to even try. So there's that. But yeah, I think I've covered a lot of things. Most of the part I may have just repeated, but um, to just close it off, I think my final words would be that I hope if you don't right now, I hope you find something in your life that brings a bit of happiness. I mean, not a bit, but I hope it brings you happiness in something adventurous, or just something that you haven't done in a long time. Um, I think once you actually go and do it, you you will you'll feel different. It doesn't have to be anything drastic, but I hope that you get to experience that. And I hope that you just make, like, just be spontaneous. I think that's the main thing. Be spontaneous. If you have close friends or family that you can try things with, then take advantage of that. I think it's great to do things with, like, people, and especially with company that you enjoy, because it also adds a memory into your friendship or your relationship, as well as bring, like I've been saying this whole podcast, a whole different sense of happiness or joy. So yeah, guys, I just yeah, if you guys could share, like, any advice or tips, or, like, are you someone trying something new? If so, what is it? How's it going? If you're an adult, are you, like, what were your hobbies? Have you gotten back into it? Like, is there new things that you want to try? I really want to know, guys. So yeah, I wish you guys all great happiness. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on and on and on, even though I may have repeated the same things. But I hope that there was at least a tiny bit of information throughout all this yapping that will make you somewhat reflect, or was something that you needed to hear. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in another episode. Bye.